So, favorite topic of ours, gender.
Genders and passengers is the link for this episode.
Okay.
Fun.
We're talking about the review for the 2016 movie Passengers,
Which came
Jennifer
out...
Lawrence and Christopher Pratt.
Christopher Pratt. Came out in 2017 for Australia. So that's why
it's a little bit
it's debatable.
Day.
Yeah, I think it was New Year's Day.
on the famous blogger's website, Samantha Howson.
Yes, we have a special guest in the house.
2017.
Welcome.
She's
Thank
back.
you.
Yep, by popular demand. Finding Dory fans loved it.
All
Those children.
Brandon and Christopher commented
Yep,
on
name our
Facebook.
two
And,
fans. Shout out to our...
all
So it
right.
can only go up from here, I think.
We do have shirts on the way.
Oh, okay, good. We'll sell. At least we'll sell two. I don't even think my parents... I said to my parents, do you want to listen to the podcast? They're like, nah, not really. Not interested. Oh, yeah. It's not their cup of tea.
If we sell the shirts at $80 a piece, that's
You're right. Or we could sell them at $500,000 each, and then it's still $1 million. So instead of selling
they're really exclusive.
Instead of selling like 1,000, Han Solo dolls, it's just two really expensive shirts.
and they're exclusive. It's
They
like,
are.
It's like yin
Well, they're
and
not
yang.
because exclusive means one.
It's like yin and
Yeah.
yang.
Well, actually, does it? No.
Two sides of the same.
So there'll be a black
pod.
and a white one.
Yeah, same side,
You'd
same
have to have
side,
a certificate of
different sides
Yes.
of the same pod. Our pod, the passengers pod.
And
Welcome.
I'm already done. Yeah.
Welcome this evening to the passenger pod.
We may get. I want to point out we may get a live breakup on air. That'll be exciting because
Well,
we're talking about gender, and you guys had very different readings of the film.
Yes.
I've
Well,
did,
Sam and I watched the film together,
Okay.
as couples do. Nathan watched it alone.
heard. I watched it with
as
Joe.
singles do. Oh. Okay.
Joe.
Joe.
Well,
Yeah.
Joe will be on one day,
yeah.
but as singles do, you'd watch it with another male. I watched it with Samantha here, and we had slightly different.
Oh, I'm
views
so
on it.
excited for this.
I mean, I know it's
so
not
excited for
that
this.
violent, but
Not that violent.
It's very.
Is that the black
like,
eye you've got there, Sean? There's a black eye there, Sean.
I get
It's
abused.
like, I
Yeah.
get
I'm
very
having a
violent.
different opinion.
Do we
in
say
this
no to
relationship.
domestic violence at the Shaun and Nathan show?
No.
No humor.
No, Sam.
about that.
What were you saying?
It's very typical, though. I thought, like our
Okay.
views.
Yep.
Like I was looking at it very emotionally, but you were looking at it more action, like.
What?
Practically?
That's already
Okay.
a different state.
What are we?
I
That
looked
was
at
the
more
first
Nearly
thing.
3 minutes in,
I looked at it-
and there's about to be a
I
shoe thrown.
looked at it more logically.
Okay.
I'm just going to jump.
Logically.
Oh god.
Yes. Yes.
This is
Because
so good.
this is what I wanted.
There's tension.
Okay, is you remember okay, I'm just going to go straight into spoilers.
Just straight into it. Spoilers. You're gonna get
Lawrence
spoiled.
Fishburne dies. So
What was his name?
Lawrence Fishburne.
I wrote it down. Fishburne. You probably can't read my writing.
Oh.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Wow, Fishburne, the Jewish African American.
Well, he only did it for the
You
money.
really did spoil it. Actually, he comes in at the end. I was
Yeah.
going to get.
Oh,
I was thinking,
midway. I
was gonna get
but
to
what
that at the
hap-
end, yeah.
but we that scene
Yeah.
that he is in and what happens
Yeah.
with him
Yeah,
is the real kind of
Yeah.
like the first strike that we had in our reviews.
yeah.
No, I
you didn't
never
mind it
said-
as much as
no,
me.
I looked past it because I liked the movie so much.
I took it personally.
I looked past the fact because I said that there was more to it than what they could put into the film. Like I feel like if he had been there a lot longer, they cut it down to put it into the film because he was really convenient because of the tag and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I looked past it.
We both had the same opinions on it, but you were able to move past it. I took it personally, and I had nightmares over it.
Wait,
and
you're
I'm
saying
still
it. What
holding
you're
a
saying
grudge.
it. You're talking about just that end. Part.
That scene of just Lawrence Fishburne,
Fishburne.
his whole time on screen.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you're trying to confuse me.
No, I know. I'm just saying,
Fishburne
but
or
you're
is it
jumping.
Fishburne?
It's Fishburne.
Okay.
Lawrence Fishburne
Well, don't
from
say
The Matrix.
Fishburne
yeah.
when I get it right.
But you said it
You're
wrong.
bullying me.
Yeah, I'm not bullying you.
It's Fishburne, okay.
Out of all the people in this room, I'm not going to be the one that kills you in cold murder. I'm going to be the witness to it.
Exactly.
As I said, it'll probably be the Nathan show after this, and Sam will just call in from jail.
Yeah.
be the guest,
and I'll
the
call
regular
in,
guest
I'll call
host.
in from hell.
Yeah, it's hot down here.
Okay, well, let's
Adam Sandler. All they play is Adam Sandler. movies. Little Nicky, yeah.
I'm sick of Click. I haven't seen that
I have to see
film.
Click one more time.
That was
seeing Click.
That was the downfall of
Oh
his
my-
career.
oh my
Anyway,
God.
we always
It was the beginning of the end. We
Write
discussed
on
that.
your pad. Adam Sandler downfall.
Adam Sandler downfall.
down.
There's my pen clicking.
Okay, so let's start off from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's a good place to start, not at the end.
I liked
Okay.
Martin Sheen.
Yes.
Michael, isn't it?
That's Michael Sheen.
It's
Martin
Martin
Sheen
Sheen.
is Charlie Sheen's father
Yeah.
from Apocalypse Now.
Oh,
We're not doing well
yeah.
today. And The West Wing.
And The
which is
West
a great
Wing,
show.
yeah. No,
Shout out to Aaron Sorkin.
both great pieces of work. But
Well, what a seamless transition. This is a disaster. Yeah. We're trying, and what are we going to just mention as well?
Michael Sheen.
Okay. Yeah.
really enjoyed him.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that out there. I'll
Yes.
go into a little bit more of his character later.
Yes.
But he really stood out from Chris Pratt
Yeah.
and Jennifer
I
Lawrence.
was just gonna say first
interesting.
before we quickly go to chaos and just throw stuff around the room.
Yeah.
If Sam, do you want to give a quick summary of the plot? Just like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I can't really sum it up.
Me either.
I'm not good
it was
at summing
that bad.
stuff
I
up.
can't
Well,
even
No,
can't sum it up.
okay.
I think
Oh,
that like the trailer, they did the trailer really well because
Yeah.
the trailer told you pretty much that there's two people on a ship
Yep.
and the ship's going down
Yep.
and they're there, you know, they've been let out early.
Yep.
And so when the actual movie came out, it was very different to what the trailer perceived it to be.
Yeah. It was. I was not expecting. So basically, they were on bound for this place called Homestead 2.
Yeah.
And it's a 150-year journey, was it?
It was 100 and something, and they
About
had
that, yeah.
like 90 years.
They're
left.
90. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I think they woke up 40 years after
Into
the
it.
trip.
Into the trip. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it was 130 years.
130 or
so
so.
they wake up.
Yeah.
So Chris
40,
Pratt
30
wakes
to
up.
40 years into the
Yeah,
trip.
so Chris Pratt wakes up 30 to 40 years in, and he's got 90 years to go. So he's
Yeah.
not going to make it because he's already in his 30s.
due
Yeah.
to a meteorite. or
Yes, which
asteroid
happens right at the start. Yeah,
being
Yeah.
through.
Yep.
You don't see really like the
it's just kind of
specific thing, but you hear it. You hear it dinking. You're like, okay.
Well, it does. It goes through basically like an asteroid
Yeah.
belt,
but it has a
and I guess
shield.
it does have a shield, but they get
odd.
through.
Yeah.
I don't
Or
really.
something happens, something faulty happens, and he wakes up.
Well,
out
the
of his
shield
pod.
was really only at the front. So as it was going through,
Yeah, it got hit
was
on the side.
only, yeah.
Yeah, you'd think you'd put a shield on the side, but
But
maybe they made the run out of budget.
costs.
Yeah.
Because it would have been President
Got
Trump.
like
wouldn't it?
5,000
So,
plus people on there.
Costs.
so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
so it gets hit, and then
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
Pratt wake up.
Something happens with the electronics of his
Yeah,
pod,
and he's pod.
and he wakes up and finds that no one else is.
Yeah,
So that's
and-
when he finds out that
That he's alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
he's
probably that was my favorite part of the film. Just Chris Pratt on his own,
Yeah.
so like really
Yeah.
enjoying himself
Well, that
with the
was like a
dancing
third
and
of
the
the film.
basketball.
But even earlier than that, so he's a passenger, and that's where the
Yeah.
title comes from. So basically, what they're going to do is start a new colony
Yeah,
on a new planet, which is sort of similar to Earth. It's like Earth 2.0 kind of.
yeah,
kind
it's
of
a
deal.
livable planet,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
going there
but
to.
they're starting from scratch.
Yeah, they're going to
Start
rebuild
it, yeah.
society.
Yeah.
So basically, what they've done is they've taken a bunch of people. It was about 3,000 or something, was it? But I should know.
5,000 plus crew.
passengers plus a,
Yeah.
a 200
They've
person
taken
crew or something. Yeah.
everyone from. They've taken a mechanic,
different-
which makes
yeah.
a bit more sense.
Yep.
Chris Pratt,
Yep.
and
Well,
they've taken a feminist blogger as well.
Which is Jennifer
Because-
Lawrence. We'll get to that.
Which
Oh,
is
I'm feeling
some
it. I'm
reason
feeling
we
it.
need to
Sam,
have
put down that shoe. No.
like she doesn't bring anything to the table,
Yeah.
but
Whoa.
again,
Yeah.
we'll bring that later in.
Okay.
She doesn't.
Wow.
She's literally she doesn't. Like, what was it? Why would a ship put
Okay.
Jennifer Lawrence? I wouldn't put
Actually, that brings
Jennifer
it-
Lawrence on
no,
my
that
ship.
brings it back because I was gonna say that they that he explains that he's on the ship because they wanted trades, so he didn't have to pay that much to go to Homestead 2 because they desperately need trades
Yeah.
on the planet.
So he has to stay on that
So-
planet. Isn't that the deal? Like, he has to stay there.
Oh,
He can't go
no, you
back
can't.
and forth.
No, but he doesn't want to anyway.
Yeah.
But so a lot of those people are like tradespeople,
Yeah.
and then the others are just like rich people who can
Afford it.
afford to.
But
go
is
over
this the first trip though? Like, is this the first colony?
No, I don't think
Colony
it
of
Well,
is.
people?
I think there was. I think it's implied. It might have been mentioned, and now I just think it was implied. There was Homestead 1, and it was like a failed experiment.
Oh, I see.
I think that was the implication that it's gone really badly before,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
and this
don't
is the
think
new
that-
one. They didn't really
Yeah.
touch on it at all. It wasn't really relevant to the story.
Maybe
I don't
they
think,
just
but-
brought all the nice people. Like no,
Yeah.
they did a big police check and
Well, they've taken like the best of society and put them
it in there.
in a ship.
Yeah.
But I thought it was indicated that they weren't the first plane ship to go over there.
Yeah, or maybe that's what it
I don't
was. Yeah,
know,
that they weren't.
it's-
I don't know because I
doesn't
think they
really
had to have
touch on
stuff over there when they get there. There has to, it's not just
Well, they have that
emptiness.
stuff on the ship as
See,
well.
Yeah,
What would have been good? Here we go.
yeah. All right, I can feel it.
Is instead of Jennifer Lawrence having messages of people from the past,
Yeah,
I'm back on Earth, Homestead 1 going, oh, we miss you. Have messages of her friends on Homestead 2 going, oh, we can't wait to see you. Because then
But how would they have
it
got
doesn't
there?
feel like it's like there's more emotion if it.
that
if
doesn't
they're
make any
going-
sense, Sean. Though,
No.
because how
It
would they have got there and
does.
she been alive on Earth? Unless they talked through Facebook.
Unless
or
they
something.
left.
They would never have met in real life if they were already at Homestead 2. Unless she was
No,
frozen
unless
back on
they
Earth as they
went-
took the 150-year journey.
Unless.
Yeah, waiting for her.
No, unless they left before her.
Yeah, but then she would have died because it would have taken 150 years for them to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so dumb idea.
Or she was watching welcome videos from Homestead 2.
No, I think the videos
No, it
were
wouldn't have worked.
good.
Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
liked
oh.
that whole scene. I think it was really important to the character.
Like it was still emotional having
Yeah.
videos from the past.
No,
Yeah.
but I don't think that
But I
it's
think-
emotional necessarily. I just think that it talks about her character and who she was back
Yeah.
on Earth that then showed you what she was like, the person that we're seeing.
Yeah. We'll get on to that. I want
One
to start.
one video of Homestead 2, just so we know how it's like on the planet.
No,
and
but
two,
that
it would
has to be
her
that should be
hopes
left
are
up
for
to
this
the
planet.
person anyway.
Yeah, I think that's
it
meant to
should
be.
mysterious.
Yeah, that's meant to be. It's just like an
not
idyllic
like a
planet.
panning shot of the city.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like how like either friends or like anyone that can relate.
You want a greeting
to her.
party to
or
go.
even the company that was hiring or something. Anything like just a greeting message or something. Like even a
Yeah, but
greeting.
look,
like,
we're
welcome
jumping
to-
ahead because you already got to Jennifer Lawrence before. We're still going to talk
Chris
about
Pratt.
Chris Pratt's character.
Yeah.
Well,
and-
I'm just
and how
want to get it out
starts.
there before we get into Chris Pratt.
I can't fault him ever.
Yeah,
I think
he's-
the
he's a
shower
bit like-
scenes are a bit excessive.
Yeah.
Shower scene.
I think that was a bit of Chris Pratt.
Sam's
movie.
They're show-
Sam started
They're
drooling,
just showing-
and there was a
They're
bit of
just
jealousy
showing
flowing
that he
out.
has good hygiene.
A good ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a good hygiene.
Sam was drooling.
Oh, but they showed her in,
Yeah, apparently it's first sex scene and nude scene for Jennifer Lawrence on film.
There you go.
After, yeah.
Well, after nothing.
Well,
Since she
there-
hasn't done it before.
No, but there was that fappening incident.
Fappening. Oh yeah, but that's
fappening.
just nude photos of it.
Yeah.
That wasn't in a film.
So it didn't have the,
Fappening. Oh
it
my
didn't
God.
have the same impact
Yeah.
on me personally.
Wow, you blocked your mouth, but you can still hear me on the microphone.
Well, who said me though? There's four of us
Well,
here.
your voice
Someone
doesn't, your
said
voice doesn't
me.
Well,
change
it's
to a
definitely
hand.
not me.
Someone said me,
It must have been.
No.
Must have been Sean. Me. I mean, Sean. Me.
not Sean, but
Look.
Sam.
So Chris. We'll go back. So Chris Pratt. So he wakes up on the ship.
Yes.
He basically does a bunch of stuff, and this is where I was kind of like, I wasn't sure where it was going to happen because I didn't do any background research on
Yeah.
what the film was about. I'm trying not to for films I know that we're probably going to end up talking about.
Yeah.
And it was actually quite entertaining watching that whole
Yeah.
sequence of
Yeah, I
him.
really like
It could have been just a short film in that, just him by himself. Like
Well,
the
I
whole
reckon,
movie, I could have just.
I reckon that's where
loved
the
watching him.
premise must have come from originally, was like that it was a guy who's alone on the ship. Because you ever remember the movie, I wrote down a list of movies that it made me think of. Moon was one of them from 2009
yeah.
Ah, yeah, that was a
from
good film.
David Bowie's son.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good film.
Zoe, originally Zoe Bowie.
Whoa.
So
Yeah, but I think he calls himself Duncan Jones now. He did the Warcraft film as well.
Oh,
We're never
really?
talking about that. Never talking about that. Yeah, disappointment and ruined childhood.
What else did it remind you of? It reminded
No,
me.
well, I was just gonna say that part. I'll go through as we go through like the film, but that part was like Moon, where it's like the guy alone.
Yeah.
Because Moon, he was like on the space station on the moon and he was fixing stuff and he was isolated.
Yeah.
And then I like Kevin Spacey as the robot. But this one it was like, yeah, he was just trying to like occupy himself, knowing that he was gonna die because he worked out pretty early on that he couldn't
Yeah.
No.
get into the
crew
what is it?
chamber.
Yeah, the crew chamber
Yeah.
to try and like reset himself.
Which
And the
is
pod
funny.
was unfixable because he's an engineer and he could obviously
Yeah.
do it, but he couldn't fix it. It was busted.
Yeah.
Needed a new part.
What movies do you have put down?
Well, part of what I want to talk, I knew we were going to talk about gender and that, and we'll get onto that. I just want to
You created
build
that.
up to
You
it.
created
Build
that
up to
genre.
Well, Gravity was like the first one where it's like the man and the woman in space, and like they got their trials and tribulations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, it just makes you think about, and this is what I want to talk about. Like, I didn't know if it was ripping off these films or it's just like because it's a film set in space, it makes you think of all the past.
Yeah.
Probably
Film
just
set in
probably
space.
that though.
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, you could think of like TV shows like Firefly as well, like anything really
Yeah.
in space.
but then but you use that as like an anchor to compare like
Yeah.
the film to it, and that's why I obviously had Star Wars in terms of like the ship and blah blah blah. But it was kind of like
Not so much.
it became more of like a character drama and more like 2001: A Space Odyssey. Where it's
Yeah.
about the people, and it's more their interactions with people
Yeah.
at home. Just that space section of the film, not like the caveman stuff or the
Can I add
crazy
one?
colors. Yeah,
I'll go into this more
Yeah.
a little bit later on, but the butler scene.
yeah. I was about to mention it. Go.
Do you have the movie written down?
I've written it there. The Shining.
Oh, I'm gonna say
Yay!
The Shining.
There we go, we got onto it.
Yay! Our first sync.
Finally, we're in sync today.
Oh God!
Or for this whole pod, the whole duration of
3 years of doing this podcast, and we're finally.
3 years now.
We're fi-
since we could say 2 years.
It's been
since
two
December.
two podcasts a year, and then we're just
Oh,
finally taking them out.
Oh, well.
But yes, The Shining
Oh, well.
as well.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw,
The Shining bar, and that's why I thought that's definitely an homage to it, where it's like the bartender and the guy's alone.
yeah, definitely, kind of talking to like a ghost, like someone who's
Yeah,
not,
and he's,
he's
sort of
there, but he's not
slowly going
really
crazy.
there. Like,
Another one I didn't actually write it down, but that came out was Groundhog Day.
oh yeah,
Where especially at the start where he's like doing the same thing over and
the
over. He's
humor,
doing
the
DD
humor
dance.
side of it.
Yeah.
Or it's kind of like his existential thing of like I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
How am I going to
Yeah.
amuse myself? And he gets the beard and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go more into The Shining.
Well, let's
part
talk
of it.
about actually. It's probably a good time to talk about the bar. Like we'll I'll try to add the characters as they get added in the film because each film has its specific section with each character. You get to like spend because Jennifer Lawrence comes in the second half. But we meet the bartender first.
The bartender's probably
So he's an android.
dropped in.
We should mention he's an android bartender.
Yes, who works
So
on the ship. No
he's-
other androids working on the ship, which is strange. I thought there'd
Well, they
be.
had those little.
They had the
looking
restaurant people
things.
who were, but they were really big
They were-
robots.
yeah, and
it's
they were
funny
not
how
really,
the
like-
one bar on the ship is.
Well, when I thought of, I was trying to think of like why, and maybe it was just he's really expensive because he's AI. Like he was learning Chris Pratt. He was learning the way
Yeah,
to
he
interact with
remembers.
him.
Yeah.
And he remembers and he changes, but he's still not completely complete. He goes like.
He spoils the,
Well,
the secret.
Well, he's like, yeah, but he also before that he's like, you can't be in the bar because you haven't woken up yet. And he's like, but I'm here. So how am I here? And he's like, but you can't be here because you haven't woken up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause he's
Well, he
programmed
freaks
to know
out,
there's no
doesn't he?
fault.
Yeah.
he's like.
Well, he sort of just
starts
says, but he
twitching.
still just says you can't be here, and then he keeps continuing the conversation.
Yeah.
So that's how you learn he's not actually a human. He's just a
Yeah,
a friendly
he
robot.
doesn't. His system doesn't have that answer.
no.
Like until they wake up in 90
Yeah.
years. I think I'll just go straight into it as I usually do.
Okay.
With The Shining, I think
Yeah.
sort of the last, instead of cut out everything past 60% of the film and redo it.
Okay. I see we're going into Sean. How would Sean fix the film? We need some like theme music. Da-da-da-da.
But I think it should have been a little bit more like a Space Odyssey where the robots are kind of learning and not enjoying this job. I think the robots should have started
Sinister.
like betraying them or like trying to kill them on purpose. Like the bartender, because I noticed some little physical moments where Jennifer Lawrence would say to the butler, the bartender, "Oh, you're not human. You don't understand," and he'd kind of look a bit sad. I thought
Yeah.
that would gradually he'd start to
Yeah.
learn emotion and start to get angry instead.
But
Like
it's not that type of film though. I think
Yeah,
you're going
but I
down a
wanted
different
that
path.
kind of
Yeah.
film.
Well, that's
I
part
wanted,
of.
I wanted if there's gonna be like drama on their side, I wanted drama on the Android side. I wanted them to start malfunctioning on purpose or trying to like.
But why? What would be the point of that? Especially when they are
the plot
actually
twist.
plot twist.
Yeah.
What killer
Kubrick.
androids?
M. Night
on a-
Shyamalan.
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 No, you're trying to make him Jewish as well. Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
How did you change it from Indian to Jewish? Shyamalan.
But see,
You heard it here first.
M. Night Shalom.
You heard it.
that comes back to me saying that you wanted an action film.
So your expectations were like flipped.
I thought it'd be more of a twist on the story. That's all.
I have to admit, I do agree with you in the sense. Not that I wanted it, but I thought he was starting to go a bit evil.
Yeah, he did.
And then I thought he was going to intentionally tell, like he sort of accidentally told Jennifer Lawrence a secret that Chris Pratt woke her up, and we'll get into all that.
I thought it'd be.
But that was because they said that they didn't have any secrets, so it makes sense that he would say that. Because
he's just being honest.
Because he thought, I can say it now because they don't have any secrets. So it made sense, but he kind of acted it in a way that made him seem sinister, I think, when it wasn't intended to be that way.
No, it wasn't. And I admit, I thought he was Simon Pegg. Not the whole time, but for a bit. I knew it wasn't Simon Pegg, but all I could think was Simon Pegg because I
would have liked Simon Pegg and Nick Frost to be the guy that's by himself. That'd be an amazing film.
Oh, that would have been good. It just turns out to be it's like Shaun of the Dead on a space.
Oh yes,
Shaun of the Dead.
Got a bit of red on you. Oh, sorry.
Passenger of the Dead. Yeah. Oh, someone should recut that and make it like a Shaun of the Dead.
I'll leave you in charge of that.
I'm learning my editing skills. I'm getting there.
Yeah, I guess the twist.
Soon I'll be able to. The
twist wasn't there for me.
Okay, so you were disappointed. Is that? And this is what we're gonna.
Disappointed. Don't say that.
The next part to talk. Well, so you weren't disappointed.
I wasn't disappointed, but I was just expecting a little bit more. But again, it was still a good film. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, I'll admit openly that it wasn't what I expected. The film was not because, like, as you're saying, like with the trailer, it didn't end up like it seemed. No. It was presented.
Well, but I prefer that.
Yeah,
I hate trailers that tell you too much, and I prefer to have watched it and to be surprised when I see a film instead of the trailer just telling you everything.
Yeah,
I hate that.
And the trailer reveals the best parts.
Yeah.
But to speak of the trailer, though, in my defense of my idea, go back to the trailers, watch them again, and you'll see a scene where Michael Sheen is like. He's like breaking and he's smacking his head and he's hitting things. I thought he was going to be like the villain of the movie.
Yeah. And
he was going to start breaking down.
Well, he did.
And that was the plot twist.
But he wasn't the villain.
Well, no, I thought he would be the villain or like he'd turn out.
Yeah.
Like for example, he spikes their drink or something. Mm-hmm. You know, like he's been... The one time he's rubbing the glass he's got poison on the rag or something. Something like that. And then,
okay.
Because just from the trailer. But why that's the only thing I saw of the robot was him smacking his head. I thought there was going to be this big android catastrophe and they'd all start they'd start prepping their meals incorrectly or like, you know, not cooking it properly. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's kind of like, oh, like they're doing a really bad job of killing us. You know what I mean?
Why would they want to kill them?
Yeah, that's what's his intentions?
Twist.
How is that a twist? People, you would be the first to say,
why
why did they want them killed?
And then you find out that that's why Homestead 1 was bad because the androids took over.
So it's the Matrix.
It's the Matrix.
I wrote that down too. I only wrote the Matrix because Lawrence Fishburne reminded me. I was like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, this is ruined now.
Well,
this is the
obviously
Matrix.
I went deeper in.
Morpheus, yeah. Okay.
But I have one more thing to say about Lawrence Fishburne, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to Lawrence Fishburne.
We'll get to him.
Yeah, so with The Shining for me, it was just like the visuals and like, you know, with Sam's expertise in set design. Did you notice that as well? Like sort of that room?
I did, yeah. I thought that it was, when I was thinking about it later, I thought that it was interesting that room in particular was really the most elaborate and the most colourful even, which was really interesting. Like it was really a centre point, and maybe that's why you also thought that the robot, did he have a name?
Arthur.
That's it.
Arthur.
Arthur might have had more of a role to play maybe because that room was so different to the rest of it.
I thought that would be like the final kind of area. Like it would all loop around back to that one bar.
Yeah.
And Arthur would be the one who's, you know, done it all. Instead of an asteroid hitting, he's the one who's done it, but he's part of the you know, the revolt to stop this.
Well, he definitely sticks out. Like you said, the other robots don't look human at all.
He's the only other human, well, humanish robot. That's why I thought he'd play the biggest part. And I think it'd be really creepy. Like if all the lights were
Yeah.
flickering and it was just
Yeah, he
was-
did come
yeah.
off as a bit.
Right.
I think maybe that's what
Yeah.
they intended to make you think he's going to be evil, and then he's not.
Yeah.
I got
Maybe
fooled
that's
by
the plot
Hollywood.
Got
twist.
fooled. Oh.
Oh
But like the Aliens trailer. Are you ready for the new Alien movie, Sean?
yes, we'll get to that.
Well, that was
Gold
what
class.
started the whole podcast.
Gold class.
But
We're
I
seeing
told
in
you-
gold class.
I told you you're going to get disappointed by it.
No,
Because you're just
don't
getting
say that.
overhyped by the trailer.
Don't
just
say
like
it.
Jurassic World.
Don't say it.
It's Jurassic World all over again.
We're going to gold class. It's going to
Well,
be
let's
great.
let's put it down. We'll do the Aliens podcast, and it'll be you explaining how.
Write it down, please.
Okay, Adam Sandler, Aliens. We're just going through all the A.
The disappointment in gold class as well, because I know it'll be crap.
Oh, we'll do. Well, you can have 10 minutes to talk about Gold Class.
Gold
I'll write
class.
that too.
Do expensive food.
Gold classics.
Gold Class. We know. Well, you mentioned that in the Book of Mormon. How the water from Singapore, $5.
$5 for a bowl of water from Singapore, not even Australia.
know,
Moving on.
Importing costs. It costs a lot to ship it over. Anyway, so we'll get to so there was all the Chris Pratt stuff where he's sort of learning about what life is like on the ship. There was what did they call it where he goes out to space? He's tied up to he had the spacesuit and he had the rope. He did that a couple of
Yeah.
times.
Seems like it's an amusement thing. You can
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like an activity you can do on the
And-
ship.
Yeah.
I think
I
like
think it was.
one of the first sort of emotional peak was when he tried to kill himself or he was about to kill himself.
Yeah.
He had himself in between the two suction doors and he was going to press the button,
Yeah.
which would have
Yeah.
sucked him out to space. Because that's how depressed he was getting being alone.
Yeah.
I thought his acting was really good.
Yeah.
as
That's
well,
why
like
they paid
the
him 12 mil.
emotional- Oh, 12 mil.
12 mil.
Oh well, he's very.
Well, I was going to talk about this with gender. He got paid 12 and Jennifer Lawrence got 20. So,
Really?
yeah.
well, it's
20
like
million.
in the porn
Not $20,
in the
20
porn in the porn industry. In the porn.
Oh, yeah. With your extensive experience in
In the
that
porn
industry.
industry,
Yeah.
male stars get about probably 60 to 80,000 a year, while female porn actors get about 200,000 a year.
Okay.
Yes. It's one of the only
Yeah.
industries that women get paid more than men.
Yeah, exactly. I know that
There you
Anyway,
go. Fascinating.
But I don't think Jennifer Lawrence deserved to get paid that much more for this film.
because their acting was crap. That's why.
No, her acting wasn't crap.
She was in it less. She was in it less.
She was in it less, and I reckon they're at the same level, acting
Yeah.
wise.
They can just never pay
Chris Pratt
stars, I say.
was-
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt deserves a pat on the back.
Oh, wow. Chris Pratt
Wow.
on the back. Yeah.
Chris Pratt on the back. No, but his acting was amazing, and after watching things like Jurassic World, you can really see the difference
We've come full circle.
in a year and a half. Like his acting wise.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know how many films I've seen Chris Pratt. Oh, probably just Guardian of the Galaxy and Jurassic World. I've never seen him do an emotional
Yeah, this was
part
different.
before.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's mostly been like Harrison Ford, kind of charming and
happy-go-lucky
goofy and
Yeah.
very charismatic.
Yeah,
But
I think we can all agree he was a great actor
yeah,
Yeah.
in it.
but
And
seeing him
he's got a
emotional,
lot
I was
to-
happy.
And I like that whole part. You really got to know him like really well, and you knew that he was really sincere about his decisions.
Yeah. Do you mean the character?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. I was
Sorry,
like,
not him.
yeah. I was like, Chris
Well, I
Pratt
don't
really
know.
chooses his roles well. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never met him.
But no,
personally.
yeah. Actually, well, that's what I remember that I wanted to talk about how they promoted the film, but we'll talk about that soon. Because they really emphasize the relationship between him and Jennifer Lawrence, like their banter.
Yeah,
Because when a film, I might as well talk about it now. When like a big Hollywood film comes around and all of everything you subscribe to, all the talk, the late night shows, they go on them. And you can almost track their journey around the world. He's like
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon in New York, and he's over in LA with Conan, and then they're over in England with Graham Norton,
Yeah.
and then all your little,
same with Star Wars.
yeah, and then they're all you can tell them
crew.
go on their world tour
Yeah.
around as a PR
Yeah.
people pull them around,
Yeah.
and then they're on the radio shows and they're on the
Oh, it must
and all
be
the
a
you get the little
fantastic
banners, you get the
life.
little YouTube ads. It's like passengers and. Oh, Sean's eye roll is beautiful. I actually agree with you on this one, though. Often you're eye rolling at what I say, and you are again, but
I don't
you're agreeing with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to see the cast together until they're in the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
it was kind of even
Well, they're
weird too
trying to
because
advertise
it almost seemed like they were banging, like they had this like sexual chemistry. But Chris Pratt's married.
maybe they did.
Jennifer Lawrence did say that in the sex scenes she drank a lot before because she like felt uncomfortable. First of all, like being in a
Yeah,
sex scene, but also
yeah.
because he was married, like kissing a married man.
Yeah, it would be
You know,
weird.
you gotta do what you
That's
gotta
nice.
do.
Okay.
If you're getting 20 million, why not? I'd kiss a married man for 20 million.
So,
Would you? Would you kiss him for
Yeah.
free? How little would you have to get paid to kiss a married man?
$1 million.
So $999,999.
I would do it.
50,000.
No.
You wouldn't kiss a married man.
Yeah.
That's like your dad.
Yeah,
Would you kiss
no,
your dad?
No, I wouldn't
You
kiss
gotta
my dad.
barter a bit.
I'd kiss a married man, but not my dad. I'd kiss Chris Pratt for $50,000.
What about just 1,000?
Yeah.
It's just because
What about
he's
50?
famous.
What
Then
about
I-
$50?
Then I can say it. Me
about
and Anna Faris can both be like, we both kiss Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah, Anna Faris.
Yeah, she's we'll talk about that corpse later on.
What?
Another day.
No, I love it. I like Anna Faris.
So do I.
Anna Faris, if you're listening, not listening, but yeah, if,
Don't do
if she
Scary
ever-
Movie 7.
We got to do 6 first, anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do
Okay,
either.
let's get on to the meat of the subject. Jennifer Lawrence. Actually, that sounds like I'm dehumanizing her.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
okay.
okay. Well, obviously, Chris Pratt, we find out, lets her out
Yes,
because he falls in love with her.
yes,
He sees her, obviously, and then there's like this computer log of her, which
Yeah.
the
Yes.
ship has, and interviewing her for some reason.
Oh, well, if they're going on a ship, you gotta kind of know who it is. Like,
Well, she's like a big person. She's a big writer. Her father was a writer. So she's quite well off. She's known to, well, at least the writing community.
yeah.
And anyway, so we find out a bit about her before she's even acting or waking up.
yeah, I didn't mind that though. Like, I thought that was okay.
No, I didn't mind it.
Well, it was good because it characterized that Chris Pratt had a reason to fall in love with her because he was lonely. So
Yeah.
and she's got because she basically sort of playing herself in a way that she's like got her personality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's got that
a little
quirky
bit.
kind of like she's like chuck, she does that Jennifer Lawrence chuckle.
Yeah.
That was that good? You're looking at me like you've just saw Jurassic World. Oh well.
I wouldn't
Did
call
you not enjoy that?
Jennifer Lawrence quirky? The
Yeah, well,
start-
she's got that, but she's got that kind of like like I'm ditzy kind of thing, but I'm smart at the same time.
Yeah.
That intellectual dorkiness.
The rain
Yeah,
gets
I
heavy
can hear it.
with my emotions.
The rain is coming through on the mic. That's fine. Rain is
More upset I
is
get
a part of
with you,
nature.
Nathan.
Huh?
Ambience.
The more upset I get, the more it rains.
Are you God?
I am. But it's gotten very bright in here. Anyway, just to let the audience know, we are still in my bed doing the podcast.
Thank you. The three of us.
The three of
Well,
us
we're huddled around the mic. We're not.
Yeah.
Spooning.
under
It's
the
not a
sheet.
three-way spoon tree.
under the sheets.
What order would we go in if we did spoon?
Well,
Not
it had
that-
to be
not that I'm
size
interested.
order.
Size. So,
I don't think I'd want to be involved. I don't know how I could make that work
well,
because I just
I'd spoon
just
you
feels-
because you're smaller.
and then Sam would spoon you.
Yeah,
So Sam would be the big spoon. You're the medium spoon. I'm
Yeah.
the small spoon.
I'm happy with
Ah,
that.
that's
Okay.
fine.
Well, that's good because then I can like move away if I feel like it.
Oh,
And then just leave us two.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the real shot of
Our own
Nathan's
little
show.
iceberg. That can be the cover photo. Sam facing this
Oh.
way in the bed, and us two snuggling naked on the right.
Why naked? Well, whoa! You just slipped that word
But
in.
would you do that for 50,000?
50,000. How naked? Like,
How-
but are you like against me?
Or-
Pressed up against me,
I'm
naked?
snuggling you
Yeah, no.
for
thank you.
50,000.
No. Anyway, so Jennifer Lawrence.
yeah.
Yeah, speaking.
I wouldn't do it.
Speaking of Jennifer Lawrence,
Show me the 50,000 and then maybe. How long? Just for 5 seconds, just to get the photo?
no reshoots,
No, no money.
lighting adjustments, shoot adjustments.
Sorry, the
Sam's-
camera
Sam's
wasn't
makeup,
working. Yeah, we have to do
battery
it again.
check. Jennifer Lawrence. Yes. What have you got to say about her?
All right, or I'll give my opinion. Then I'll let you two
Yeah.
find it out. Well, this is what I wanted to ask. I don't know if the film was like a moral. I don't think it was meant to like present a moral question, but I think the question that you can ask after the film was, should Chris Pratt have let her out?
Yes.
And I think you guys had different opinions on that. Do you think she?
Well, I find it really hard to think about because knowing the end of the film, I kind of think, well, they should. It was what meant that was the best choice. But at the same time, I think, well, if I was in her position, then I would be pretty pissed off as well. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think anyone would be annoyed. I do agree with that. No, I think he made the right
Yeah,
choice.
well-
I think any guy would just be like, I think
But it's
deep
Jennifer
down,
Lawrence in a tub, and you can get her out
exactly.
in a little pod tub. Yeah, because I think
Both of you are going to get sexually frustrated eventually. I'm just going to pull that out there. No holes barge. And I'm going to say that Chris Pratt,
well, he would have got very
After a
horny.
while,
Because let's be
he would have
fair,
been horny.
It was like, was it 1.3 years or something?
Michael
he
Sheen
said?
isn't doing anything for him.
Yeah, it
He's
was-
not. He's
The
not.
android doesn't have any.
He's not
bottom.
cleaning Chris Pratt's glass
Oh wow.
at all.
Worst metaphor.
And I think that
Euphemism /
if I
metaphor.
was stranded on a ship
Okay. Sean McMahon.
for
So you're Chris Pratt.
how long was he on the ship for?
See, I think it was over a year,
It
so
was
that would
just-
really he would
just
really
over
have
a
dried
year.
out
Yeah.
Yeah.
sexually.
So
Like, he'd be
really, I'd be, you go into the
Busting
room and
for
there's tissues covering the
Wow.
floor. He's like, it's the next room. It's like a brand new like suite, ensuite. But I would have, if I saw Jennifer Lawrence in a tube. It's been a year. I've done everything on the ship.
And then you saw her like
I'd open.
you saw her audition, well, not her audition, but an interview for the thing,
Yeah.
and you saw her talking about herself and her
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
quirkiness.
I'd probably I'd move on to the next. I'd watch all the files until I found
Oh wow!
The right one.
the right ones.
So you go pick a girl. 'Cause, I mean, 5,000. The odds are pretty good,
Yeah, exactly.
and you'd wake her up.
Odds are Sam's in there somewhere
Oh,
in a little pod.
that's cute. So you'd wake Sam up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, that's the thing. So most of the film then, it's about halfway that he wakes her up, isn't it? About that, or maybe a bit earlier.
I think a little bit earlier.
40 minutes.
Maybe
45
something like
minutes
that.
in.
Yeah. And then so when he wakes her up, he never tells her. She just
No.
thinks it's a
Yeah.
fault
Yeah.
that she's woken up too.
Yeah.
And the robot knows, but because he's told Arthur, yeah, he's told Arthur, but Arthur's been told not to tell her, and he sort of does a good job at it until
Yeah.
he spoils it.
I
at the
feel
end.
like he should have just carried on with the lie to Arthur and just said, "Well, it was."
Yeah, he could have.
It was just a malfunction.
As soon as he said that, don't tell her. I'm like, oh, he's going to tell her.
Yeah, like,
that kind of wasn't.
Why
as
would
fast,
you
yeah.
tell the robot?
Tell a robot that's like its logic is kind of.
if you've got
skewed.
if you've got the lie down Pratt,
yeah. Oh,
then I'm rolling them. I'm steamrolling, boys.
recording
I've just
that.
had dinner.
did you say boys?
Thank you.
Boys and girl.
Boy,
Boy.
he should have just kept the lie.
Yeah,
really,
well,
and then-
okay,
I
so
mean,
he could have
it
not
adds
told
a bit
her.
of drama, but
But that's kind of even more wrong. So he's already opened her in the pod, let her out, and
But who-
sentenced her to death. That's what it is. He's sentencing her to death by
it's
waking her up.
selfish.
Because
movie.
I think the film it doesn't emphasize though that she could go back and see. You know how like the video from her friends, which actually reminded me of Interstellar, with that video. You know when Matthew McConaughey gets a video from his family when he's
Yeah.
up in space.
Yeah.
Have you seen Interstellar? Oh wow, they're not a fan.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, so when I said have you seen it, you went that was a
That's
no.
what- that's
that was a
my-
no.
That's my skip to the next person.
Okay.
Sorry,
Well, there's a
I've
scene.
seen it.
So in Interstellar, the most emotional
Yeah,
scene
I've
is
seen
when-
it. I've seen it. Yeah,
So you have seen it. Now.
yeah. He's in space and he's crying. Yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I know of it.
But you know that scene, yeah. But that's what it reminded me of. So she gets that video from her friends, and they're like, "We know you're unsatisfied here on Earth. We know that that you want to go somewhere else. You want something more out of life, but you don't need to go on the ship." It was like a going away party
Yeah.
they filmed.
Yeah.
So she's watching that and crying, knowing she's never going to see them again because this guy's woke.
Yeah.
Well, at this point she doesn't know Chris Pratt's woken her up.
No.
But she knows that she's never going to see them because it's 90 years until they get to the planet. So they're going
Yeah.
to die because she's like, I don't know, even if she's in her 20s, she won't live that long.
Yeah, should be
She'd be like 115 or something. So,
old and cranky.
but whereas if they'd stayed asleep, they'd get to the planet. Then they could get back on the ship and go back if they want.
Yeah, that was
That was the idea. And she was going to go
Just
back because she was going to
head
report for a bit and then go back
when
to Earth.
when the
So she's never going to see her friends again.
when the
And he's still a good guy.
truth dropped. I really enjoyed Jennifer Lawrence's acting. I thought that was
Yes.
so intense.
Yeah.
So
I
she's
thought that was
clearly
awesome.
not. Yeah, it like ruined what relationship
Everything.
they'd sort of built because
But
they
like,
started having sex.
It's so weird
They
because
they bonded.
yeah, they did
And then
everything
he
in
told
the
her.
book.
Well, the robot told her. I
Yeah.
don't think he was actually planning on telling her.
No, he just got
Yeah.
his system just went. No, well,
Well, I don't think Chris Pratt was ever going to tell her. I think he was just sort of was their dark secret.
Yeah.
should have kept the lie. Chris Pratt obviously doesn't know how to lie. He's a gentleman, understandable.
Well, it was kind of he was a lie in the sense that he just left out the truth. He just left out.
But you
that
think
part.
Yeah.
after a year of talking to Arthur, he would have treated him like
Yeah.
his best friend who
Well,
can trust.
And actually, I forgot as well. He was going to propose to her, wasn't he? The night
Yeah.
that the
Yes.
robot tells
he
her.
made a he made a ring.
Yeah, because he's like that's where the robot tells her he's pouring a champagne and saying, you should see the way he talked about you before you woke up. I think that's what
Yes.
revealed it.
And
So
when
he didn't
he's-
actually directly tell her, but he's like, yeah, you know.
Well,
he-
that's his system just being a bit confused and not knowing social cues.
Yeah.
He didn't know that would lead to her finding out.
That's right.
He was only instructed not to tell the exact truth.
Yeah, that's right.
But
Yeah.
which is clever. When that dropped in the cinema, I was really like, like.
Yeah. I
Not many
know.
movies make me go,
And
Yeah.
the camera, like on her, it was like really shaky, and like kind of built up that anger that you
Yeah.
could see. And then
Yeah.
she spent like a long time just hating on him.
It's really interesting because it's such a... Because you understand Chris Pratt, been there for a year, lonely, horny, wants a girl.
Well, that's what
I get it.
yeah.
But at the same
Isolated.
time, it's also selfish, insane to let someone else out. He could have let other people
Yeah.
out then. Why not just have a party? You know?
I thought that too. He's like, you could let other people out. Why
Let
just
other people
one
out.
person?
Let a
Let a third person out.
No, but that means he's a serial killer instead of just
yeah.
killing one
But
person.
who's gonna know?
Yeah.
Let other women out. Let's have an ensemble of women.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Put them in different
No,
bars on the
but
ship.
we already
Like
saw
Indiana
from
Jones.
his character that he is a genuine guy. It's
Yeah.
just he's sentenced to death with not that it's
And it
his
was,
choice.
and it genuinely wasn't his fault the first time when he woke up. It was an
Yeah.
accident that the meteorite hit the ship.
Yeah, which is sad.
Yeah.
Do you care for the character? Speaking of being sentenced to death,
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne,
Yes. He
useless.
his character did not meet a good fate. He was sort of just randomly in the film. I think it was only in the film to get them into the captain's quarters, which allowed them. There was
Convenience.
and what was it? The little pod that they were allowed to go back to sleep in.
Yeah, that
Yes,
was in
it
the
froze
medic.
them or something.
Yeah,
It froze
and
their
so they
atoms
could.
or-
So they realized they had a second shot at life. But the
Yeah.
twist, only one of them could use it, which I think is dumb. They should have had more than one.
Are we gonna
that
drop?
was in
Are
the
we
medical.
dropping on the Lawrence and ending stuff now, or should we just do the Lawrence stuff first?
Well, I just want to talk about the really. I
Because-
want to really get to the meat of the gender thing because I remember when you said to
Okay.
me, you saw that you'd seen the film and you said, Nathan, I really want to talk about Passengers because we had a difference and we think it's because of our genders why we viewed the film differently.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah,
You
I think
said
you
it.
said. I
What
think you
was
told
your-
me.
what
You
was
said
your
that.
opinion, though?
You said that. Yeah, that Sam had a different opinion, and I think it's because she's a woman.
Yeah, because
Just throwing you under the bus.
because when we left the cinema and we started talking about it,
Well, yeah.
I was really happy with what I'd seen. Like I really loved it. Obviously,
Yeah, you gave
but
it 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you came out and just like, oh, they should have done this and they should have done that, and it was all like to do with the ship and the action side of things.
Oh yeah,
And
well
I
understand
looked
now.
at it as very psychological and the romance.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say Sam took in the romance.
Yeah.
So
and looked at
together,
the
you-
loving
yeah,
side of it
yeah.
and all the different they're about to do this, but they end up living together and etc. etc. And I looked at the more logical survivalist kind of stuff. Like
You're saying
that's
it
that's
like
the gender difference.
Here comes the breakup.
romance.
45 minutes in. 45 minutes in.
You keep saying logical, like romance and all that isn't logical.
No, but no.
Oh.
I looked at the romance part of it, but more logical.
Jerry.
You
Jerry.
looked at the romance side out of it. Like,
You're saying the Lawrence
Blimey.
Fishburne thing is the logical side of it. When I don't disagree with you.
not in the way that happened in the film, the way that the film was created. So the choice is not the actors made, the characters, but what the scriptwriters
Yes,
did.
I know.
Yep.
That's the
But that has nothing to do with the actual story.
well. They all write the story.
That's like that's how they made it.
That's they're all
Sean's got his leg on Sam to try and show that he's like
supportive.
dominance.
yeah. Oh well, I thought it
There's-
was like that you're like trying to be loving while you
There's-
disagree. Lovingly disagree.
lovingly disagreeing. But no, I think what Sam means is that I didn't really take away from the romance as she did.
Yeah, I think
And-
what you're saying is you interpreted the film differently because of the things you looked at in the film,
Especially with the
Yes.
ending, I
Yeah.
think.
What we took away from the film was
Yeah.
different.
and
Especially the ending. We'll
but-
get to that.
but through the
That's-
filter because you had different filters of how you look at it. And did you
Yeah.
assume
Yeah.
that men? So you're saying that men looked at the more like the Chris Pratt side of things. How are we going to survive?
I think so.
What's logical in terms of what's
Logical-
going to get us? How are we going to survive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sam was looking at the emotional aspect
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
The impact of how, not so much
Yeah.
the practical
Also,
aspect of it.
as well, with the ending as well, which we'll get
Yeah.
into, there were a few other moments where it comes into the what would Sean do?
What would Sean do
We'll get
in terms of
there.
making the film or being
Yeah,
Chris Pratt?
all this happen. All this is about the Lawrence Fishburne and ending stuff.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, you didn't like the ending. I liked the ending.
that's
Okay,
it right
yeah,
there. What,
alright.
what? This is what you wanted, you
No, I'm sorry.
sadist?
That was a gasp of like
sadist
I'm
guy.
in a really uncomfortable position.
Oh, okay.
I didn't need to.
No,
that wasn't
no,
a
yeah,
disagreement
no.
gasp. That was like, oh my god, mate.
Yeah, okay.
Because I've had stomach pains this weekend. That's another story. I don't want sympathy.
sympathy.
Send me cookies, please.
All right. Listen.
PO box
So
47.
so Jennifer comes in, break up.
Yeah,
That's it. Lawrence Fishburne.
Jennifer
comes in.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Ooh,
Whoa! I just blew your mind.
Okay. Well, so Lawrence comes in,
Yep.
and I was really disappointed that he was only in the film for 25 minutes, maybe.
Not even that. It was like
20.
15 or
It
something.
was very quick.
Really?
And basically, what was it? He caught an infection and died.
He caught every
He had,
infection
like-
and died.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had like
He
cancer.
they did the test and he had
Blood
300
disease.
issues.
Yeah.
And like, how do we fix this? He's like, oh,
And then he sort of
I
died.
can't.
Yeah.
But it really,
and it kind of brought them back together because at this point she was not talking to him.
No.
She was
that was an
completely ignoring him.
easy way.
And meanwhile,
do
the
it.
ship was getting more and more.
Oh yeah, damaged. Yeah,
Damaged,
I
yeah.
forgot about that whole part.
well, I said
yeah.
that the flame ship. I thought Lawrence Fishburne should not have been in the film at all.
Yeah.
And that Chris Pratt should have gone out in the suit and done the shield. How he goes,
Okay.
the fire's coming through.
Yeah, and well, because it was
And I
overheating,
thought-
so I had to get the
I
fire
thought
out.
he would
in the
sacrifice
engine.
himself. That's the first part of when I thought the movie
Yep,
would end.
actually, yep, good point.
I thought he would sacrifice himself there. Lawrence Fishburne, I was disappointed because we had this character that had so much potential and like an older character who knew the
Wise,
ship.
yeah, like a Morpheus
But then
type.
he just gets 300 issues and dies.
And dies, yeah, and he's like just falls over on
Like,
the.
what?
He just
There
slumps
was
over.
no
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
I would have liked to have either have him die with the flames coming out.
yeah,
Either Chris Pratt was doing that or Lawrence Fishburne was doing that. I think I agreed more to Lawrence Fishburne being in the tunnel with the flames and dying then,
yeah.
and then he gets shot off into space instead of just dying of sickness. I thought he'd do something more heroic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one big convenience. Didn't
Yeah, he was pretty much there for Jennifer Lawrence
Plot-wise.
to complain to and for
Playing
his
therapist.
his crew key thing.
that's it.
Yeah, and it was. That's what I said. I think it was just to let them into the ship.
Like, why didn't the butler
Yeah.
have a crew key or something?
Yeah,
like
or
that?
like a backup crew
Imagine
key.
in the end of the,
Yeah.
he's like he says something like, "Oh, I wish we could get in here."
Yeah,
It's like, "Oh, well, you can."
yeah.
Pulls back his sleeve.
Yeah, you're actually. I was gonna write as well with the Star Wars those little robots in the canteen. You know, those little
Yeah.
robots that follow around. That was like
Yeah.
the comedy sort of attempt at comedy, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
These little
they're
robots
alright.
that-
They're okay.
And the other thing was, I liked another moment that made me laugh was when Jennifer Lawrence got the really good breakfast. He got the oats just because he was an
Yeah.
engineer.
That was yeah.
So there's like these little class different
Yeah.
sort of things. You know,
that was nice.
guess that's funny.
Also, because she's a woman, probably, but you know,
Whoa.
She
going
was
that
well
way.
off. She had the
He's
better
a
room
She did
and
well for herself.
everything.
Yeah, she had a really good room. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
she had
That's
the
true.
access to the good room. He had like a little bunker, pod, whatever it was. He had a little pod room
Yeah.
full of
You,
tissues.
you wanted
and
this
shit.
about gender, and now, you know, you're getting all flippy when I say because she was a woman.
No, I just said you were so blatant about it because you're
Well,
literally.
I feel like in a
we
podcast, you
literally
don't know.
we've been talking about Indiana Jones and how you're saying how like the woman was portrayed well and more women should be portrayed well like that, and now you're just saying because.
Do you think Jennifer Lawrence held up with Karen Allen in Raiders of the Lost Ark? think she
You
has
mean
the
as a
same
character,
value?
as a heroine? Well, she was, I think she was put in a situation that was out of her control, and anyone would react that way.
Yeah.
Do you think she took? Do you think she? What's the word?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Molded to the
Molded.
situation.
Who Jennifer
Jennifer
Lawrence?
Lawrence. Do you think she made?
I
The
think.
best
Well,
of
I
it?
think
She-
that was
she
where I think Lawrence Fishburne's
tried
purpose was to
make
help her.
as an attempt to escape. Do you think she? Do you think she had the same weight as Chris Pratt?
Yeah, because
Well, she
when
got paid
came
20
out,
million.
Times of oh wow.
when she came out of the pod, she
Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
when she tried all the same things and he just let her, obviously. But I think that one of the things I wrote about was that I thought that the characters were really realistic.
Yeah.
in the way that they acted, and it would be really, well, it would be how we would react, I think.
Yeah, I think, you're right. I think the thing was, it's just a human, so you probably shouldn't have woken Jennifer Lawrence up. I don't think anyone would agree that's the right thing to do, but we would have. And I'm saying I probably would have as well. If I was Chris Pratt alone for a year, I'd be like, I'm getting.
Well, if I was Sean McMahon alone for a year, don't talk about.
You would have done it in a day.
You're not Chris Pratt. You're Nathan Joel.
Well, I'm saying, but if I was in Chris Pratt's position, not saying if I was Chris Pratt.
Okay.
But
I would have done it
a whole bunch of
people. I would have
just had a party. Let's open it up all against them.
I believe if I'm going to be screwed, then everyone should be screwed.
I'm aware of this.
Because if I have to die 90 years before getting to the place, then everyone else should, because it's not fair. So I'd open up everyone, have a massive party. Just an ongoing party. And then have babies and continue the saga.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Why would you have babies?
There'd be women, and all the other men would, sleep with the women. And we'd have Homestead 3, baby, on the ship.
Because I like that shot of the ship where, did you like that with the interior design of how the ship was like planned to be like a city?
Oh, yeah.
And it was like parties and it was like shops. It was like a cruise ship, basically.
Yeah.
There was just so much to do. So you would have just released everyone and had a party.
Yeah.
Just party on the way. Yeah. Just ruin the whole mission.
Yeah, so when they get there, when the captain people wake up, it's just red cups everywhere.
Yeah.
But then
dead corpses everywhere. Big party.
You think that people would just accept that?
Chris Pratt did after a year. With someone else.
I think that if there was an angry mob that you've let
you would
out,
have had a whole revolt on your hands.
Yeah, you would have had a lot of people. You'd probably die.
I'd blame it on Arthur and run.
It was
he
him.
did it. Whoever did it.
Oh wow!
Like, can I get you a drink? It was like pitchforks and all that. No, but I think that's a movie within itself, though.
Is it?
Unlock a lot of people and then see the divide. Get like
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies. Lord
Just
of
ruin the whole
Lord
mission.
of the Flies. Because the ship is flying.
Oh wow! Like FLYS, Lord of the Flies. That's a terrible. Yeah. So what did you have? What was Indiana Jones? Or what was your alternate? What were you going to call it? You had the alternate film we were talking about.
Indiana.
Oh no, the Freddie Mercury film.
The Queen from Queen.
The Queen from Queen.
Yeah.
Terrible title. I said you could at least do the King of Queen.
No, he's a queen, darling.
So Lord of the Flies.
Queen. Lord of the Flies.
Wow, you have the worst titles for alternate.
Lord of the Flies, and then you have a okay.
Anyway, so the end of Passengers. So basically, they end up. The pod could put one of them to sleep, so one of them could have gone. Jennifer Lawrence does she go for a bit? No, she just decides not to.
She decides not to.
They just decide not to. They live together, and then it ends up being trees. And when they get there's trees.
Yeah, and they build a house.
Yeah, they build a life on the ship.
Yeah,
basically. Right. I just kind of want to skip that because I found that quite. Well, did you enjoy it? Did you think that?
I
mean, you gave it 5 stars, so you must have.
I loved the ending. I thought it was really. It. I understood it. I think on a different level because
men are dumb. You got to at least say something. At least say one thing sexist, and then we're all even.
Okay, men are dumb. No, I just thought that. I thought that even under the situation that they were in, they were able to. Well, not Chris Pratt, because I think he ended up just accepting it, whereas Jennifer Lawrence actually finally realized that she could have a life on the ship and live it to the fullest. And I think that's what they did, because he said he wanted to build his own house, and he did that. She wanted to write a book, which we assume that she did.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't weren't they reading from it? Is it if you're listening to this?
That's right.
Yeah. Joe pointed that out to me because I got confused at the end. I was like, who's narrating? And then I was like, oh, it must be
because she was reading.
So they achieved.
They achieved their goals.
So you're saying because they achieved their goals, that's just like a good compromise for what the life at Homestead could have been. They basically lived it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yeah, I just don't think that it would have been good. Like, I don't know. You say what you thought.
I semi-agree with you. I just think... Well, I think the ending was good. I like, opening up and... But I think the only thing that bugged me was... There was 1 or 2 moments where I thought it would end. It was one of them was.
I thought he should have died. I agree with you. He should have died.
Jennifer should have
when
gone in the pod.
The heat came out. He sacrificed himself for the 5,000 people, like Iron Man
Yeah.
in
I thought-
Avengers,
Here's
and
what I-
then she goes and goes to her hometown.
Endings. This is
He
my,
lets her go.
These are my endings.
He makes up for it.
Lawrence Fishburne dies in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne burns in the tunnel.
Yeah,
Chris Pratt burns in the tunnel.
yeah,
Chris Pratt puts Jennifer Lawrence in the tube to
yeah.
freeze her.
And then he
And
sacrifices
he
himself.
sacrifices
Yeah.
himself and
Yeah.
goes back to the bar or something
Yeah.
and has another drink. There was another moment that was like it was going to end. I'm trying
Oh,
to
like
remember.
when he went out into space and she went out to get him.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
I thought,
I
the
wanted
rope
him to
would
drift
stop.
away. I reckon he should have drifted away
and then that's it. And then she's
Yeah.
stuck, and then she finds the tube, and then goes back to
and
sleep.
gets to have the life on Homestead.
Or
yeah.
Sean, she opens up someone else, but you don't see
Oh,
who.
and it goes to forever.
You don't
Oh.
see who, and you
Yeah.
just see her.
It's
like-
Harrison Ford.
Oh, mate!
The sequel, Passengers
It's
2.
George Lucas.
Two Passengers, Too Furious.
It's George Lucas.
Two Passengers, Too Furious. Oh, it's Jar Jar. I'm back. George Lucas, Spanish
See,
me.
like, get a gun.
Okay, this is going. No, I had an alternative.
No.
You know what?
Let me
Okay,
continue my
okay.
idea, just so
Yeah.
I can coin it.
Yeah.
So you see her beeping away, and then the
Yeah.
capsule goes, and then that's
And
it.
that's it. Okay.
She opens up another
Well,
pod.
see, talking about cold logic and being a male, I worked out they could have swapped places in the tube every 15 years, and they would have both made it alive. Because they had 90 more years to go. So divide that by 2, 45. 15 years. 6 groups of 15 years, and they would have both been in their 70s and got to Homestead as an old couple. Boom. Whoa. The pen just slipped out of my hand. And
You hit my Scouts Australia certificate.
I'm sorry, I mic dropped.
You-
They could have survived. They made it seem like they
Yeah.
couldn't survive mathematically.
Who wants to do that,
15
though?
years.
He would have
I don't
killed
know.
himself.
Yeah, actually.
He would have
Oh,
gone
that got dark.
sexually frustrated, cracked open that.
Tissues full of sperm to tissues full of blood. His own blood. That's disgusting. Let's move on. What would you rate it overall? What would you rate Passengers overall? I think we've come up with our alternative endings
No, probably.
out of 5 stars. Because we keep doing it out of 10, but I want to do little stars.
Okay, little star. I'd
Little
probably
stars.
give it 3.5.
Whoa.
Ooh.
That's
Sam, you gave it.
I gave it
5
5
on the
out of
website.
5.
So it's a must see for Sam.
Yeah.
I'll say. Oh, he said 3.5.
Mine's a Netflix or
I'd really like to
All
give
right.
it 3 3/4, but I'll go 4.
4.
I did really enjoy it. It was worth watching.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Any last thoughts?
any last thoughts? 5 stars.
You guys have. I should mention you guys are still a couple. That's good.
Yes.
Yes.
It didn't completely break
survived
up.
our first pod battle.
That's because you half agreed with me.
Well, that's a
Yeah,
wise
I
thing.
agree
When
with
to
me.
do.
because after we came out of the cinema,
yeah.
you said
Yeah.
you didn't like the ending. You kept on saying, "I want to know more about this and blah blah blah," and you didn't talk about any of that
What parts?
because it left it open at the end. Because
Yeah.
we don't see them at the end
Yeah.
when everyone comes
Oh,
out.
no, okay, no.
Well, he
just to be
knows-
quick,
knows-
just to be quick.
yeah.
Well, then at the ending, I either wanted them, like kids to come out or a family, or
Well, they would have been dead.
then kids, then like a family or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
I
like they
liked-
raised the kids. Actually, they could have done that.
Even-
really.
Yeah,
kids.
but I liked the fact that we
I
didn't
di-
know
I
that
di-
we don't know.
Yeah.
It
Well,
leaves
that's
it
not
open.
how. Well,
Look,
what? He had a
last-
prostate problem or something.
Oh wow! Like a last word. You know, originally
Is that what happened? Like,
Keanu Reeves and Emily Blunt were going to
What?
play the characters, and that's
I love
Passengers.
Keanu
wow,
Reeves.
get lost.
Enjoy.